Attention, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Let it rain, chocolate bunnies. Guys, we did it. We made it to 100 subscribers. This is crazy. I just want to thank the Academy for these chocolate bunnies because they're so cute. That was a ridiculous intro. It's crazy. I'm looking at it, but I can't really believe it, honestly. 106 subscribers. So what have we learned here? First off, if you scream on the internet loud enough on your social media, it turns out that some people that actually kind of care about you will check out your channel and they'll actually subscribe. So I do apologize for screaming so loud on social media. You know, I'm trying to be humble, just make sure that it doesn't look like I'm just talking about myself. I don't know, like I'm trying to like make myself seem bigger than I really am, because that's totally not me. Honestly, thank you guys for subscribing. This is crazy. I've been slowly trying to get better at videos, and I feel like that's been limiting me in a lot of ways because, quite honestly, I am my own worst enemy because I keep saying that I'm going to make a lot more videos, but I don't. And that's a problem. I will give you guys like a little update on my life, and we're going to do a little bit of a subscribe 100 chocolate bunnies, you have betrayed me. Yeah, we're gonna do a 100 subscriber special, so props to all you guys on my social media for checking out my channel, and the few randos that are out there that found my channel. Super cool. I appreciate you. I just want to thank you for subscribing. So we're gonna do a little segment called What Have I Learned While Making Videos for 2 years. How many videos have I made? A total of 16 videos. What have I learned? Talking to the camera's kind of hard.
Hey dude, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, hey, checking out that girl over there?
Yeah, I've been thinking about her. Dude, you should just talk to her.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Right here, right now.
Boy.
Here we go.
Go get him. Hey, how's it going?
Are you reading a pop-up book? I love pop-up books. Believe it or not, talking to nobody is kind of a hard thing to do, but I think it's something that I'm slowly overcoming. I'm trying to be more myself on camera and not be like this awkward dude. I have been learning how to come up with better ideas. I've realized I made a lot of content that just like there was like hit or miss. About like 2% of it was hit, and then the other 98% was like a miss. A lot of stuff that, you know, it just I wouldn't really watch it. So what was weird about starting this channel was I didn't really understand exactly what I was getting into. I didn't understand exactly what I wanted the channel to be or to look like. All I knew is that I want to make videos because I used to love to make videos, and I had my DSLR camera laying around, and you know, I'd originally gotten that thinking that I would be making some cool videos and stuff, but it turns out that doing that was not very easy, and I'm still learning a lot about videography and a lot about operating a camera. But at the start, I just made a basic video where I explained why I was creating this YouTube channel and kind of what my idea might be, to kind of share my experience and to kind of show progression as my art improves, which I know it will because it has to, right? It has to improve, right? As each video progressed, I kind of experimented a little bit, trying to see if I could share like advice or tips while I was filming, and to share some of the projects that I'm working on, good or bad, which most of them were bad, let's be honest. But I guess the biggest takeaway from all this is that you can't be afraid to try something. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there. Even if you think you're not good at something, here's the secret. We're all not good at something. No one's ever become an expert by starting off an expert. They got to start somewhere. I think for me, it's just really cool to be able to put that kind of stuff on the internet. And if it wasn't for me trying to put myself out there and to experiment, I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities. And there's a lot of takeaway from these 16 videos that I have made that are going to influence the next videos that I'm going to be making in the future. I feel like every video I make, it gets a little bit better. That's what kind of keeps me going, is just the idea that my videos can get better alone is motivation enough for me to keep trying and to keep filming and trying different things. And this channel has turned out differently than I thought it would, but I'm really excited because, you know, I can't brainstorm, or I couldn't have planned this channel ahead of time. It's just something that just kind of had to happen on its own and grow organically. I do hope that this channel has been helpful in some way to some of you that are watching. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. I know there are a lot of better videos out there, and you guys are checking mine out, so that's really cool. So the whole thing that shall not be named, I guess. I have moved back home. I had one more semester at school, but obviously since my last video, if you've seen that, you know that I am doing it remotely from home, which means online school. Yay! So I'm back home. My next semester starts tomorrow. Okay, I've been filming this video for like 3 days. And I'm tired. But we're gonna finish this video, okay? So this last segment of the video is just kind of a get to know me kind of thing. This is definitely a throwback from probably like a decade ago, I feel. But we're gonna do Draw My Life. Yay! Cool, right? At least we're gonna try. Here's the story of my life. So I was born in the early 90s, back when Lion King was a huge thing. Apparently it was my favorite movie, and obviously it's engraved in my brain. And ever since I was little, I loved to draw into color. That was definitely something that I was like really big into. Just the idea that you can create something is kind of cool, which is kind of a theme for my life. It's kind of why I've created this YouTube channel, but we'll kind of tie all these things in later. So I have 2 older brothers. There's quite a big age gap between us, and I specifically remember this one time we were sitting in church. Obviously I like to doodle and color and do things during church. I would bring action figures and toys and all sorts of things, and I'm not really sure why, but I'm pretty sure I asked him to draw one of my action figures, which was a Power Rangers action figure. Pretty sweet, I know, 90s kid. And like I just remember being super mesmerized watching him draw something from life. That was just kind of crazy. I was like, wait, you're like taking this action figure and putting it on paper? No freaking way. And thus started my peak in interest in pursuing drawing a little bit more than your average person. And I'm bringing up some random parts of my life, but they kind of make sense later on, trust me. And I do remember this one time when I was really little that I had some toy boats and some action figures and dinosaurs, things like that, just random kid stuff, right? I remember we had a camcorder, and I was kind of fascinated that you could take videos and that you could go back and watch them. I remember watching some home movies on VHS, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. And so anyway, one day I was in the mud with all these toys, and I asked my dad to film me, and I had come up with some sort of weird story or something. It was probably like maybe like 1 or 2 minutes long, just me rambling and like doing stuff. I don't know where that video is. I gotta look for it. It wasn't anything significant, but that is kind of interesting to note that that was kind of my early interest in sort of the video world. Now we move up to about when I was about like 10 or 8 years old. I'm not really sure which, but I always wanted the weirdest things as a kid for Christmas, and I remember one of those things was a Polaroid camera. Now, this was still the early days before digital cameras really took off, before maybe they were even conceptualized. I'm not really sure. I'm no historian on technology. I remember wanting a Polaroid camera. I just thought it was so cool that you could take a picture and it would instantly print itself off. That was pretty wicked. And as you can tell, this definitely ties back into the whole video camera sphere, so keep note. And I think something that I noticed with my personality and just who I was, I felt like I was a little bit more extroverted than the rest. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe that was a false perception of myself, but it just felt like a lot of that crazy kid energy kind of wore off of a lot of people, and with me, I was always trying to find it. When I was around 9 or 10 years old, I had lost 2 grandparents on one side of the family, and I think that was something that I really had to confront. It was really weird as a child to hear about death and talk about it, but then to see it in real life, face to face with someone you actually knew and cared and loved about, that was something I had to face. And growing up in church, we were taught a lot about death and about the afterlife, and that was something I really had to confront and to validate for me whether or not what I knew to be true, whether or not I felt it to be true. And turns out I felt that it was true. And since then, I've definitely gained a better perspective on life and death, though not everyone shares the same ideas or beliefs that I do. It's definitely that I hold and cherish to this day. And before starting 6th grade, something huge happened. We moved, and that was huge for my little 5th to 6th grade brain, right? I had to leave all my friends and family, and it just felt like my whole life was over. But in reality, as many of you have probably already experienced, that moving sometimes is the best thing for you. And for me, moving definitely was a catalyst to a lot of different opportunities that I had not foreseen before, and introduced me to a lot of friends that I am still friends with to this day. And when we moved, it was a little awkward at first, especially when you're starting in middle school and it's a whole new school, whole new house, a lot of new people, and that definitely stressed me out. But what started to happen was I started to slowly make 1 or 2 friends, and those friends introduced me to other friends. And wouldn't you know, by the end of the first year, I had a little group of friends that I could hang out with at school, and even someone who went to the same church that I did. Then we enter the years of high school. And during high school, it was a big time where I had to find myself to figure out what interests that I wanted to pursue and who I wanted to be. And back in middle school, I saw High School Musical, and I was determined to be in some sort of theatrical production. And back in 9th grade, I was a little self-conscious, and I wasn't quite sure about myself. And I kind of expressed this desire to some other friends of mine that had done theater productions before in the past, and they ended up convincing me, motivating me to try out, to be on stage, to sing, and to dance. That was the best. Then soon after that, I graduated high school, and after a couple years of working full-time, I ended up deciding to serve a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And what's interesting about serving a mission for the church is that you don't choose where you get to go. So I had to send in my application, and then through the power of prayer and God, they decided where I was supposed to go. And wouldn't you know, I ended up serving in the Peru-Lima East mission. That's in South America for those that don't really know. That's right, a small little Arizona kid like me was about to travel halfway across the world to a country he didn't know with a language he didn't understand. And I'd like to go into my experience there, but I think I'll save that for another video. And my plan after serving a 2-year mission was to come home and to go to a local community college. And besides that, I didn't really have any bigger plans. I maybe thought about applying to BYU to apply for their animation program, but that was about it. But it was during my mission that I had received a prompting that I needed to go to BYU, Idaho. I just felt like it was something I needed to do, and I felt like it was an inspired idea. And if you're interested in hearing more about my experience while there, just check out my last video, link up above. And now we're here to the present. I'm studying illustration at BYU, Idaho, and I have 1 more semester left, and I graduate this summer. And it was during my time at college that I had started this YouTube channel in hopes to showcase my artwork and to maybe create a whole channel for myself. And hopefully if the channel did well enough that it could be part of my career. I'm here now trying to make YouTube videos and trying to learn and grow. Do, make, repeat is a big phrase that I'm trying to live by right now. And I love creating things, and that's what keeps me going. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved making things, whether it was making things out of cardboard, doing weird cheesy home videos, or taking Polaroid pictures. That was just what I like to do. And it's really cool to see the connections too, where a lot of the similar things that I liked to do in the past are still applicable now. But for me, it was interesting to think about how I made it here, and kind of helps me to plan for the future a little bit. Well, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting the like button. I'm trying to grow this channel. It's very slow, and I'm not very consistent at making videos, so there you go. But as always, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Talking's hard.